Let's make history. The Queens neighborhood of Glendale was part of a larger community which also consisted of Middle Village, Ridgewood, and Maspeth. That entire area was known as Fresh Pond. The most distinctive features in the vicinity were two freshwater ponds, hence the name. Those ponds were filled in later down the line. Prior to the 1800s, the mid-1800s, people would bury dead relatives and friends on their own property, on their own farm, or the other option was you could bury them on the property of a church. Many churches, you can even see in old photographs, had like courtyards which were dedicated, basically the first cemeteries. In the 1840s, that became a public health issue as the population of New York City swelled. And so the Rural Cemetery Act was passed, stating that people had to be buried in rural areas of the state. This was a state law. And for New York City, the jagged horizontal borderline of Brooklyn and Queens served that purpose. And that swath of land was given the name the Cemetery Belt. A developer who acquired the land, who acquired a carved out portion of the land, named it Glendale after his place of birth, Glendale, Ohio. With the building of the Jackie Robinson Parkway in the 1930s, residents were furious and they protested because it essentially cut right through Glendale. They even had to move bodies from the neighboring cemeteries. Because remember, Glendale is pretty much a strip of land sandwiched between Forest Park and a band of cemeteries. This is the same situation with many of the other highways built in New York City during this period, from the Cross Bronx Expressway down to the Belt Parkway. And just recently, even with the Barclays Center. This area is tricky because places like Ridgewood and Glendale, at one point they were considered to some people to be part of Brooklyn. As far as mail, there was some confusion there. Was it part of Brooklyn or was it part of Queens? Because Glendale and Ridgewood shared zip codes with Bushwick, or a part of Bushwick, which was 11227. After the 1977 blackout, residents pulled together and requested, actually demanded, to be totally separated from Bushwick into their own community, which would officially be part of Queens.